Hello and welcome back. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about the question, what does a short-term rental business even look like? So what I did is I drew it out and then just took a shot of my notes so that it would be very easy for me to explain this here to you. So as we're looking at this, what we have in front of us at this particular moment, as you can see, is there's the you over here in the corner, right? That's you right there. So that way, you can see yourself. Now, I obviously named the company Rentals R Us, so it doesn't really matter, but you get the idea. What I first did here in the black, what you can see are a lot of the positions and departments, if you will, that you will be working with on a consistent basis. So the first one says reservations or sales. The next one says guest support. Then it says turnover. Then there's engineering and maintenance. Then there's compliance and quality, claims, reconstruction, and repair. Okay. So those are areas of operation that your business will have as it continues to mature. And again, this is even if you just have one listing or 100, you're going to be doing all of these things. What's going to change is whom is doing all of these things. So obviously, when you only have one, a lot of the time you're going to be performing all of these roles. But I think it's really, really important to understand that these are very distinct roles that you are filling each and every time you go out or wake up every day. So at the bottom, if you look, it says Rentals R Us. In the green, you have the VP of sales, and you can see that. So that those individuals all kind of report to a VP of sales. So let's pretend that you were still over here as the owner, right? If you're still the owner, the VP of sales is reporting to you, right? And then you also have the VP of operations. So that would be like the C-level, if you will, people who are helping you to run the business. So you've got you as the Rentals R Us owner, you've got the VP of operations as well as the VP of sales. Okay. So from left to right in the green, the first position is what is known as a channel manager. Now, when I say a channel manager, what I specifically mean is you have been introduced to a number of different places where you can advertise, where you can farm, if you will, to obtain listings or customers, etc. So this is what you would do. You would have someone who is dedicated to managing the company's relationship to each channel. So when I say channel, think of places like HomeAway. That's a channel. FlipKey, that would be a channel. You could also use offline places. Maybe you develop a direct relationship, if you will, with a recruiting company or a moving company or, claims adjusters. The point is, when it comes down to the channel manager, somebody needs to be managing those relationships because these are the relationships that feed the next position, which in this case is the revenue manager. This person is primarily in charge of not only the pricing, but also managing the calendar, because that can become a full-time thing. In fact, if you do any amount of research, you'll see that the travel industry, hotels, etc., they use a extensive amount of their income and budgets and line items to be able to have people who can predict the future and manage these calendars so that when they end up with what are known as orphan days, or when they end up with, when I say orphan days, I want you to think about let's pretend you have a 7-day booking and then 2 blank days and then another 3-day booking. Those 2 blank days in the middle could be considered orphan days. Well, those should be priced differently than if they weren't orphaned. Like if that second 3-day reservation wasn't there, you would actually have a different price. Someone needs to manage the revenue, right? Which is completely different than managing your relationships with each additional channel. Then there's the actual reservations and sales department. Now, these individuals, or when you're performing this role, you're actually talking to the people. You are on the phone, or you are in your email box, communicating back and forth, negotiating not only the rates, but the dates, and answering the questions that are all, the pre-booking questions. How many bathrooms is it? How many beds does it have? Can I get a discount? Is going to be your question you're going to answer a lot, because people are going to ask, and that's fine. They can ask. The point is, this is going to consume a significant amount of time, as well as the next position, which is guest support. Now, you'll notice that I have it in green as well as in blue. It's because they kind of play that bridge, meaning depending on the status of the customer, they're either helping with reservation and sales, or if that reservation has already been confirmed, or if the person has already arrived, they're in a more support role at that particular time. And they're answering those additional questions. Again, this is a very communication heavy position. It can be phone, it can be text message, especially today. If you do a lot of international business, some of them will ask you if you're on other apps like WhatsApp as well. And obviously it can be inside the messaging systems as well as email. Strongly encourage you to keep the various different communications channels down to a minimum, so that it is consistent and easy for you to not only communicate with your guests, but also make sure that you're able to document the conversations and communications as well, so that multiple people can help you continue to run. Then, as you can see, you've got your turnover crew. So the turnover crew is exactly that. They are there. They're the cleaning crew, would probably be a name you're more familiar with, but they're going to be under the operations, but they're going to be that first person that comes in after the guest has departed. And they then are going to begin communicating to either engineering and maintenance, meaning if something needs a slight small repair. And then they're also going to be communicating to the compliance and quality, because if you run out of, say, I don't know, toilet paper, you got to get new toilet paper there, or shampoo, or whatever that is that's inside your maid's closet. So when that maid closet gets low, they need to be communicating that to somebody. Also, when it comes to compliance, do they notice anything that the prior person did that was against your house rules? If so, whatever that was, this person would also be communicating that information as well. And then claims, something just flat broken. And if it's broken, then we need to start the claim process, get the proper documentation, photo, etc., so that you can go ahead and begin that process as well. And then we go back up, and then we have the reconstruction. When I say reconstruction, it can sometimes mean that you have a situation, maybe for whatever reason, the table breaks because you installed it incorrectly and you didn't realize it, and that someone came in and used it, and now the table needs to be completely replaced, or your internet router needs to be completely replaced, or something needs to be completely redone in some way, shape, or form. Whatever that is, it's probably going to be handled by this reconstruction, because it can be a challenge if you're already operating a particular unit or location, to where you have time to get back into that unit so that you can actually fix whatever it was that got broken. So to give you an idea of what a short-term rental business look like, now you can see the different roles that you will be playing. Again, hopefully as your business grows, you will find people who are suitable, who can help you so that you don't have to do it all yourself.